We're in the Al Wadi Desert in Dubai checking out the Raptor family. That's Ranger Raptor, Bronco Raptor, and F-150 Raptor. Let's take a walk around the F-150. Up front, you got the Ford Raptor grille, you got the bash bar, recovery points, and these three amber lights. Up on the hood, up here we have the Raptor badge and venting out the engine, more venting on the side, massive wheels. Standard tyres are 35 inch, but you can option 37 ones like the Bronco. Around the back, this is a cool little Easter egg. If you open up the tailgate, you pull this out and you got a step. You also get a handrail. And there's a ruler there if you want to cut stuff. And you can put your clamps in there if you're on the work site. Coming around to the inside of the car, you've got this cool little American flag detail. On the shifter here, if you press this button, it folds down. Then you can fold out this tray and you've got a workstation. Up top, you got some upfitter switches here. If you want to fit a light bar or a tow recovery winch. Here is your drive mode control. You've got 7 drive modes. Here you got trail mode control, stability control. Out the back, you've got those massive twin exhaust tips in black, which sound really good. The leaf springs out back have been replaced with a 5-link setup featuring massive trailing arms and a panhard rod with 24-inch coil springs. The Fox shocks get continuously variable compression dampening of up to 450 kgs per corner, and a bigger damper that's 3.2 inches in diameter, and that's all to account for the extra weight that the F-150 carries over the Bronco and the Ranger. Front suspension is independent double wishbone with aluminium lower arms. The F-150 has a twin-turbo 3.5 litre EcoBoost V6. It's basically the same engine as that in the Ford GT, but detuned to 335 kilowatts and 692 Newton meters. You can get the regular F-150 in Australia, so if there was enough demand, the Ford F-150 Raptor is a car that Ford Australia, New Zealand could make happen in right-hand drive, but again, it would be a pretty expensive offering here in New Zealand. You do see the odd one on Trade Me, so maybe Ford would be able to actually sell a few of these here though. So now we're going to head off and do some high-speed sand driving and some gravel roads, and then also climb some dunes as well. Traveling along trails like this in a regular SUV or ute, you'd just be bouncing all over the place. And at these speeds, I just don't think any other car's suspension would be able to keep up. It's a really impressive vehicle, and it's just a bit more comfortable in here over the Ranger. You get a few more luxuries as well, like vented seats, which are really nice when you're in the middle of the desert on a day like today. The F-150, it's a pretty big boy. Curb weight is just under 2,700 kgs. These Fox shocks, though, they can just soak up all these bumps. It's just such a capable vehicle, and this is definitely the kind of place you want to take these kind of cars out to. It's just what they were built for. So this is the Bronco. It's built on the T6 platform that shares it with the Ranger. Massive bash plates, recovery points, and the Raptor grille. It's got the 3 amber lights, and these rings here are amber as well. Up here, you've got the Raptor badge, more vents on the side and up on the hood. This is kind of hard to see, but you've got these little years here, 1967, 60, what is that, 9, 71 and 72. Those are the years that the Bronco won the Baja 1000. The mirrors, they're actually attached to the body, not the doors. That's because you can remove these doors. As well, you can also remove the roof. These side runners come off as well, and then you've actually got rock sliders underneath them. Standard on the Bronco, 37-inch tires. This thing has massive ground clearance. It's designed to climb walls. Under the fuel flap, you've got a cool little detail here, a little Easter egg. You've got a couple of old Broncos. Massive 37-inch wheel on the back with the high brake light. The wheel takes up so much space, they've only got a little bit of space for the Bronco logo. These guards are absolutely massive. Stepping inside, this one comes in blue leather with the ultra suede. Step in, you got a nice little carbon fiber grab handle. You got the goat mode dial, that's go over all terrain. Carbon fiber on the shifter with the little American logo, carbon fiber wheel. You can get these seats in marine grade vinyl if you want to get it muddy, get it wet, and you can just easily wash it off. Ford Performance Bronco plaque with little screws for the headlights. and the window switches, they're on the inside. That's because when you remove the doors, you still need to be able to control that. Up here, you've got some more switches. You can disconnect the rear sway bar, lock the front diff, lock the rear diff, and that is trail control. More, again, auxiliary switches like the Ranger and the F-150. And these are the hinges you use to disconnect the roof. The Bronco gets a 3-litre V6 twin turbo. Power is 307 kilowatts and 596 newton meters of torque. Curb weight 2,600. That's about 125 kgs more than the Ranger. 0 to 60 is done in 5.6 seconds. So Ford has made a lot of changes to the Bronco, and it's quite a different beast to the Ranger. Front suspension components like the hubs and lower arms are shared with the F-150 Raptor. Ford Performance has beefed up the axles, the drive shafts, crossbars, frame, and the top struts. The Fox shocks come with live valve technology, and like the others, they're Teflon infused with a 3.1-inch diameter and semi-active dampers. Integrated reservoirs in the front and remote reservoirs in the rear. Even though the Bronco Raptor is a $160,000 car, it somehow feels cheaper in quality than the Ranger Raptor in areas. So now we're going to head out on a short little highway drive heading towards the mountains for some rock crawling, which is what the Bronco really specializes in. It can do the same things as the F-150 and the Raptor, all the high-speed stuff, but the slow rock crawling is where the Bronco is really going to shine. So driving down the highway, you notice a bit of wind noise coming from the removable roof. The exhaust is also much louder, coming into the cabin rather than out the back of the rear tray like it does in the F-150 and the Ranger. It's a lot softer than the Ranger. The suspension travel is 330mm in the front and 355 in the rear, making navigating this rocky terrain a little bit easier. So let's hit the button on the dash to disconnect the rear sway bar. Next to that, you've got front and rear diff lock buttons. We're going to turn the dial, the goat dial, which changes the drive mode, and select rock crawl and put it in 4 low. But as an ultimate off-road toy, I think the Bronco is pretty unbeatable. It's such a head turner. It has such a presence with that super tough wide stance and those crazy amber daytime running lights. It really stands out, and it's an unreal vehicle. It's just an absolute toy. So this is the Ford Ranger Raptor. It's designed to be the most driver-focused off-road ute on the market. Bash bar, recovery points, just like the other two. Famous Raptor grille, 33-inch wheels, Fox shocks, active technology. So the shocks in these are 2.5-inch and they're Teflon infused. You've got vents on the side, vents on the roof. Inside, I mean, we're all pretty familiar with the Ranger by now. It's been on sale for a while. But yeah, you got little details of code orange, as you do on the Bronco and the F-150. So the Ranger's got a 3-litre V6 EcoBoost twin turbo, making 292 kilowatts and 583 newton meters of torque. It's almost double the power of the previous gen 2-litre diesel Raptor. 0 to 100 is done in 6 seconds. You get 7 drive modes: normal, sport, slippery, tow haul, rock crawl, sand, and Baja. So much work has gone into developing the Ranger Raptor's off-road capabilities. Throwing it around these tracks on the sand and Baja mode, it doesn't feel like a 2.5-ton vehicle at all. All the suspension work plays into the hands of the steering, making you feel super connected, and it doesn't get in a huff when you're putting it through these bumpy trails. Climbing dunes or pulling through sand bowls, you can just plant it. With that extra power, you don't have to worry if you're carrying enough momentum to make it through, like you did with the previous gen Ranger Raptor. The Fox shocks just soak up all those bumps. It really is impressive on-road as well. You can pretty much roll over any pothole or curb without upsetting it, and the ride is very comfortable. So which is best? Well, I actually love them all. The F-150 is a beast. It's got heaps of power. The noise from that 3.5 V6 is just on another level from the Bronco and the Ranger. It's really comfortable with that extra size. It's very refined going over these sandy, bumpy trails at speed. It's just so big, which is probably not an issue if you're living in America or somewhere very rural New Zealand. but the Ranger kind of does everything this can do, and it's just a bit easier to live with. The Bronco is probably the hardest to live with. It's got lots of tire noise and roof noise because it's detachable. It's the most fun one here though. Its price is just pretty crazy though. But so is the Bronco Raptor. It's a crazy toy. It's the kind of the road equivalent of getting a GT3 RS. You could use it every day if you wanted to, but you'd probably want to have a second car in the garage as a backup. It's definitely the most focused off-road truck you can get straight out the box. My choice would have to be the Ranger. It really is the bargain of the three, and if you're not really missing out on much, while you're saving a ton of money over the other two. And while it's still a large vehicle, it's just so much easier to place when doing these kind of driving and easier to use in a daily capacity. But let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.